In the remote islands of the South Pacific, a strange story unfolded after World War II. Villagers cleared runways in the jungle, lit signal fires, and even built wooden airplanes out of bamboo and straw. But these were not air bases. They were rituals, acts of faith that the skies might once again open and cargo would return. During the war, Melanesia, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands became staging grounds for Allied troops. Thousands of soldiers arrived with ships, jeeps, radios, and airplanes that delivered staggering amounts of supplies. Food, medicine, tents, clothing, and machines the islanders had never seen before. To people in small, isolated communities, it looked like magic. Soldiers wrote on paper, talked into radios, or waved flags, and crates of goods appeared. Then, just as suddenly, the war ended. The soldiers packed up and left, and with them, the cargo. The disappearance shocked many. For some islanders, the loss was not just material, it was spiritual. Why had these mountains of goods vanished? Why had the skies gone silent? Some communities decided the answer was to bring the cargo back. They built imitation control towers, carved wooden radios, and marched in ritual parades with bamboo rifles. They mimicked the drills and ceremonies of the soldiers, believing that if they repeated what they had seen, the planes would return. These became known as cargo cults. The most famous rose on the island of Tanna in Vanuatu. There, villagers began to follow a messianic figure called John Frum. To them, John Frum promised that one day he would return, bringing endless cargo and restoring balance to their lives. Even today, his followers still hold parades every February 15th, raising the American flag, carrying bamboo rifles, and chanting his name. But cargo cults were never just about airplanes or supplies. They were about justice, identity, and resistance. For decades, colonial rule had imposed taxes, land seizures, and forced labor. Missionaries demanded the rejection of ancestral traditions. Then came the war, and with it, the startling sight of colonizers depending on the same cargo as everyone else. To the islanders, it overturned the world. If Europeans did not create cargo, but merely received it, why couldn't others claim it too? Why should access to wealth be denied? Anthropologists later explained, cargo cults were not primitive superstition, but a response to disruption. They were ways of making sense of sudden change, of reclaiming hope in a world turned upside down. Some movements were religious, others carried political undertones. At times, they became revolutionary. The line between faith, protest, and resistance blurred. The idea itself was not new. Even before the war, movements like the Vailala Madness in Papua around 1919 anticipated ships arriving with European goods. People danced, marched, and awaited ancestors who would bring cargo. The war only magnified the pattern, because the cargo was real, and then it was gone. Still, many images spread by outsiders, like villagers literally worshipping airplanes, were exaggerated. Yes, people built symbolic planes and radios, but these were not toys or idols. They were prayers in physical form. They were acts of imagination, trying to summon back what had been lost. In the end, the cargo never returned. No supernatural supply drops appeared. Yet the legacy of the cults endured. In Tanna, the John Frum movement remains alive, a living tradition blending history, spirituality, and cultural pride. Outsiders may laugh, but for followers, it represents resilience and identity in the face of colonial disruption. The story of the cargo cults is haunting because it is human. It shows how technology can look like magic, how inequality breeds myth, and how hope, once kindled, refuses to die. When the skies went silent over the Pacific, the people did not forget. They turned loss into ritual, absence into meaning, waiting into faith. If you enjoyed this untold story of the cargo cults, where villagers built runways for planes that would never land, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Untold History in 5. We uncover the strangest, most shocking, and fascinating stories from the past, all in just 5 minutes. Hit the bell so you never miss an episode. And tell us in the comments, were the cargo cults superstition or a powerful act of resistance?